Hey guys, welcome to F and Doc TV. I'm your host Tony J, and I want to wish everybody a happy new year in a happy new 2021. Uh, I know it's been a couple of months since I've been on here, since I've been on this channel, and I wanted to have a unfiltered discussion. So I decided to hook up my old high definition webcam and cut the theatrics out a little bit. I'm going to change up the format of my channel. And I've been in talks about that to start getting more subscribers. And I'm not going to keep going back and forth with the general topics of the show and what I'm going to discuss. I'm just going to jump right into it, and that's what I'm planning on doing this time around, because I've been looking at the analytics of this channel and seeing what people like and seeing what type of content my subscribers will respond to. So I'm looking towards changing up the style of my content and just getting straight to the chase and getting jumping directly into the topic without any hesitation, without any interruptions. Now, this year, I'm going to talk about propaganda. I'm going to jump into a couple of videos to discuss propaganda and the mechanisms behind propaganda to see what it is people might like. I'm going to talk about some current events um, and how they apply to media. I'm going to talk about the media and what constitutes propaganda. And my whole objective of the channel this year will be to put out purely informational content, critical analysis, uh, reviews, reactions. We're going to be looking at some clips. I'm going to be taking a couple of clips and I'm going to be talking about a lot of those videos. Also, going to do screen recording, which is going to be different. And we're going to start jumping into those things. Um, Last 3 months, I've been looking over the content for F and TV. Now, if you don't know what F and TV is, for my new subscribers, it's called Fighting Indoctrination. And I've talked about a couple of sample topics over the last maybe 7 or 8 months or so. Um, I wanted to jump right into it. Some of my biggest videos on this channel have been the Bill Cosby uh, issue, and also the fact that we talked about how cops and Live PD was canceled, and we also talked about the George Floyd incident this year, and last year, excuse me. We've talked about those issues, so we've gone over those things, and it seems like a lot of my subscribers have responded well to that bulk of content, and the analytics for YouTube has responded positive to that content as well. So I'm going to focus and zero in on some of my topics surrounding those subjects and those issues. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Um, I'm going to talk about the mindsets of African Americans. Uh, we're going to talk about harmful mindsets because I feel like I need to delve into that topic. And I guess other than that, that's what I plan on doing. And other than that, uh, just some simple general media topics. My objective of this channel is to focus more on how I can get people to understand media and the systems and the institutions surrounding media. So I'm going to have discussions and talk about media conglomerates. We're going to break down different companies and different media companies that we don't know too well about. We're going to also talk about how much money some of these media institutions generate, because I feel like we don't have a platform that discusses media institutions and how these institutions are interconnected with the American government. So we're going to talk about those issues and those situations as well as it pertains to media. Since the coronavirus issue has happened, I wanted to try and focus more on. I haven't been able to get any more content pumped out because uh, I've kind of stretched myself thin these last few months. I've been focused on writing a book, and I've done some podcasts and some voice recordings. And other than that, I haven't done much video recording in a long time. So I'm hoping that maybe doing it the style this way will help me to get garner, be consistent with publishing more content on this channel, because what I really want to do is educate people and grow my subscriber base. Even though right now I have about 3 subscribers, I'm hoping to get to hopefully to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. That's going to be my goal. So I'm going to pump out content. I'm going to batch the content, and hopefully every 2 weeks I will come up with a new content topic. That's going to be the goal. So I'll post 2 videos a month and see how they do, and we'll come up with a topic every month starting in January of this year. We'll come up with some new content. I'll post 2 videos a month, and then how those subscriber bases come out, then that's when I'll start probably garnering more of an audience and a large following, because that's my ultimate goal. Now, other than that, hopefully 2021 will be a different year for this channel and other channels alike, and some of my material, because I'm almost finished putting my book together. I'm almost finished writing my book. So hopefully once I publish that book, then I can start focusing and zeroing in on the content for this channel. Hopefully when things settle down, um, when I start going over certain topics, and when certain topics come to the blue or come out of thin air, I'll post those as well. But I wanna make it plain why I started this channel in the first place, and I know I haven't been as consistent as I should with posting a lot more content. But you guys seem to like some of my videos, so I want to first thank some of my subscribers for subscribing to this channel. I'll be sure to put out and pump out as much content as I can. You know, this whole YouTube game is funny, so you know, hopefully I'll be able to provide some insight on certain subject matters that come to mind and that come up. So, other than that, that's what I intend on doing for 2021, and hopefully things will get back to normal. Hopefully, this country will get back to normal. If it's one thing that I've learned from 2020 is that the media is a very powerful entity. We saw so many people get caught up in conspiracy theories and rumors and ideas and fear mongering in 2020. What will be different in 2021? That's what I hope. You know, will everybody in America come to their senses? Will we be able to question the information that we're being given on a daily basis? So many people watch the news, but they don't listen to the news. You see what I'm saying? You notice there's a difference? People watch the news passively, but they don't actively listen for the bullshit. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with um, with media today. We don't catch the bullshit. And the thing that I intend to do is to expose all the bullshit. There's a certain type of media control going on in the United States right now with social media and places like Facebook and Instagram who have become the new connoisseurs or the what I would call the new media medium, the new media medium. You know, if I could think back to when I was in college and I was reading Marshall McLuhan, we had this quote every time with Marshall McLuhan: the medium is the message. But social media has become the medium and the message. It's a new generation and a new world now. The way that you saw the world is no more than the world that you knew is no more. 2020 really gave us that example, and it really made us think that we can't take anything in this country for granted. Biggest problem in the United States is individualism. In some ways it's good, and then in other ways it's bad. The United States doesn't think like other countries do. In other countries where there isn't a democracy, there's a high level of collectivism, which means that people band together as a unit to keep something from happening. 2020, we didn't have that. We all didn't think like a unit. Everybody politicized the mask. Politicians were on both sides of the fence, Republican and Democrat, politicizing a global pandemic. This never happened 20 years ago. This never happened during the 9/11 era. Now, in 2020, going into 2021, now it feels like it's become a political issue. We're taking a global tragedy that has took the lives of over 350,000 people. So many people have died because of one one person, one leader that couldn't seem to put his own political ideology aside to hold the country together. And then not only that, he caught COVID himself. That's one of the biggest tragedies of this whole pandemic. That we allowed something like this to happen. And now we're faced with what happens in 2021. Will the country come back together, or will we continue down the path of destruction? And that's going to be one of the biggest questions that we're going to have for the new year. That's what we're going to have to grapple with. Because even in this global pandemic, no one can save you but you. And it's all about your mindset as well. Americans have demonstrated that because of their selfishness and because of their lack of thinking about other people, they would rather talk about individual liberties and then put other people in jeopardy because they don't want to wear a mask, because it's an infringement on their civil liberties. 2020 has shown how democracy can rear its ugly head. And that's one of the issues. The issue of I don't want to wear a mask out in public because I shouldn't be forced to wear a mask. But a mask is going to save you from dying and you causing other people their own untimely death. And unfortunately, we failed at that. And we got 350,000 lives to prove it. That's one of the reasons why this channel is so fundamentally important. Because I want people to understand that this country is harmful to us unless we start to see past the bullshit. Unless we are smart enough to tell each other the truth without feeling offended or triggered. Some of us don't know how to even handle that, and that's sad. I mean, before COVID, a year before COVID, so many people were offended by something, or they were canceling one person because they didn't like what they said, and it was like one of these days, and I thought to myself, when every time I was watching TV, I said, one of these days, you know something bad is going to happen, and we're going to be so busy worried about other things that we don't see that there's a train rolling over everyone. And COVID became that train that ran over us. Dreams are upended, lives have been stolen. There's been so many people that have died that have been famous this year. They've died. And so many people in my age group that wanted to pursue their dreams and own a home will no longer be able to own a home. None of them. And that's the biggest tragedy of this whole situation, is that we're not able to grapple with the effects of coronavirus. But the one thing I haven't heard in the news, which is so troubling, is the issue of how this virus affects the millennial generation and people in our age group that are 25 and 30 years old that have left school and actually had to go back into yet another recession, or have to move back home with their parents, unfortunately. And I think for our generation, it's a big pill to swallow. It's a bitter pill to swallow because, unfortunately, um, you know, we're dealing with, we're playing the cards that we've been dealt with this virus, and that's one of the bigger issues with this pandemic. We've had to ultimately put our future on hold. Some people won't even be able to have families. Some people won't even be able to own a home. And none of that alarms these older politicians. Yet they continue to be elected every day, every 4 years or every 2 years. We have to fight our own government because they refuse to give families $2,000 stimulus checks. They don't want that. But it's not one side that's doing this, it's both sides. It's both political spectrums that are not working together on Capitol Hill. So who ends up paying for it? The people who elected these people to elected office. The American people end up paying for the mistakes of the House and the Senate, which is disgusting. A $2,000 stimulus check. that they refuse to sign into law because they're afraid that people might abuse that privilege. Maybe they have a reason, but that reason isn't going to stop anybody from being evicted, or stop anybody from losing everything they work for, or losing that house that they paid for. That's the tragedy of this whole thing. 2021 is going to be a symbolic year as well, because this year is this year will mark the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and to some people they probably won't think, well, it's been 20 years since 9/11. It's been 2 decades. But 2 decades, that ain't really that far. 2 decades ain't nothing. But it's a symbolic year. 2021 is a symbolic year because we all know and we all remember what happened in 2001. And we all knew where the country was in 2001. But what we seem to forget, and which I want to talk about in the next couple of videos, is the cultural impact that 2001 had on music, clothes, media, everything. So on this channel, I'm also going to be talking about 2001, and that's going to kind of be like a playlist. I'm going to bring up some topics, things that happened in 2001, and I might have a calendar. I might circle off things that even I remember as a kid growing up in year 2001, and I'm going to talk and discuss that topic on here as well. So I'm very happy to know that we could start changing things. Hopefully, this channel will help you understand media more effectively and to become media literate. And what I mean by media literacy and becoming media literate, what I mean is that to have a general understanding of information and how to process information and how you can look at information, dissect it, break it down, and ask better questions and become a more informed society, because none of us are being informed because the gatekeepers of the national media want to keep us uninformed, and then those who control media, like with the Facebooks and the YouTubes and the Instagrams, they're creating a situation where now media has started to become more censored. And we have to change that idea. People have to become a little bit more engaged with social media. You have to learn how to effectively use this platform to inform people and engage with an audience, because so many people don't know how to do that. And that's the most important. It's very important that we all do that and we all learn how that works. So I hope that 2021 will be a better year for you. And we at F and Doc TV, we have more material coming on the way. So please stay tuned. And if you're in here, click the like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't know what F and Doc TV is, it's called Fighting Indoctrination. It's called Fighting Dogma, Fighting Indoctrination, Fighting Forced Belief Systems, Changing Belief Systems. That's what F and Doc TV is. The F is for fighting, or you could say fuck, for lack of a better word, fuck indoctrination, or fight indoctrination. Because continuously we have to fight indoctrination. If we don't, we'll be forced to believe in things that we don't want to believe in. We'll be forced to not question anything, any type of information that we're given. The media is like the Gestapo. And if anybody knows what the Gestapo is and what they do, it's like, they come in and they force you to believe information that's given to you by a uncredited source. That's another thing I'm gonna about, talk to you guys about, is how to sift out or sift out information that's discredited, or information that's coming from an uncredited source. Because so many of us get information and we spread it to other people and we don't know where it came from. So much of 2020 was about uncredited and unsubstantiated claims about certain things. We heard about 5G. We heard about all this shit. How 5G was the causing the virus when it wasn't. That started in early March of 2020 and early probably the last week of February 2020. We just started getting down that rabbit hole. We haven't been out of that rabbit hole since, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. I just want people to understand what's going on, why you need to subscribe to this channel. I got content coming, so you don't need to worry about that. Or what I want you to do is, if you come in here and you like the video, to just subscribe. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for donations, anything like that. What I'm asking for right now is for you to listen. And if you don't like it, then, you have a lot of other options to choose from. You don't always have to listen to me. So, thank you for tuning in. This is Tony J of F and Doc TV, and I'm signing off.